Hey everyone, get ready because we're diving into some seriously cool stuff today. We're talking AI image manipulation, specifically Black Forest Labs' new FLUX.1 tools. These tools are supposed to give us a crazy amount of control over images, almost like magic.
It really is a huge leap forward. What's exciting is that we're not just talking about simple filters anymore. We're talking about generating completely new images and modifying existing ones with amazing precision. You can even recreate images based on whatever instructions you give it. The future of image editing is here.
That's a great way to put it. So what is it that makes FLUX.1 tools so different? What can they do that other tools can't?
One of the coolest things is the ability to use text descriptions to guide the AI. Imagine being able to just tell the AI to remove something from a picture, like take out that lamppost and make it look like it was never there, and then it just does it seamlessly.
Okay, now that is impressive. I've tried other tools for removing things from pictures and it never looks quite right. What's the secret behind FLUX.1 tools?
Well, they've developed a suite of 4 unique tools, and each one has its own sort of superpower. The first one is FLUX.1 Fill. It's all about inpainting and outpainting, which means you can edit existing parts of an image or even expand the image beyond its original boundaries. And they do this using text prompts in combination with something called binary masks.
Binary masks. Sounds kind of technical. Can you explain that for those of us who aren't, coding experts?
Sure. A binary mask is basically like a stencil. You're telling the AI where to focus.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to get rid of that lamppost, you'd create a mask around it, and then the AI would use the text prompt along with the mask to fill in the background and make it look like the lamppost was never even there.
Oh, that makes sense. So it's not just the AI randomly guessing, it's getting specific instructions. That's really clever.
Exactly. Black Forest Labs has done tons of testing, comparing FLUX.1 Fill to other popular tools. And get this, even their open access version, the one anyone can use, it actually outperforms a lot of those big-name paid tools.
That's amazing. So even if you're not a pro, you can still get access to some really powerful AI image editing capabilities.
Absolutely. Black Forest Labs is committed to making this tech accessible for everyone. They believe that everyone should be able to explore their creativity and push the boundaries of what's possible with images.
I love that. So let's say I'm a developer and I want to play around with this open access version of FLUX.1 Fill. Where can I find it?
Easy. It's all on 2 really popular platforms, Hugging Face and GitHub. Hugging Face is like a library for AI models, so you can download the algorithms behind FLUX.1 Fill. And GitHub is where they keep the code that runs the AI.
So even if I don't know a ton about coding, I could potentially download all this and start experimenting.
Yep. That's the whole point. Black Forest Labs wants to empower both experienced developers and curious beginners to explore the potential of these tools. They also have a professional version, of course, with more advanced features and support.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so we talked about removing objects, which is already super cool. But what else can FLUX.1 Fill do?
Well, let's say you have a beautiful photo of a mountain range, but you wish it was a bit wider, to really capture the whole scene. Well, FLUX.1 Fill can actually expand the image outwards and generate realistic scenery that blends perfectly with the original photo.
Wait, so it can imagine what the scene would look like beyond the edges of the photo?
Yeah.
That's incredible. It's like having an AI artist who can expand your reality.
It really is, and the results are surprisingly convincing. It's not just about copying and pasting pixels, it's about understanding the context of the image and generating something new that just fits in.
This is blowing my mind. So I could use FLUX.1 Fill to remove things I don't want, make photos bigger, and probably tons of other things I haven't even thought of. What else can FLUX.1 tools do?
FLUX.1 Fill is just the beginning. Next up we have FLUX.1 Depth Canny. This tool is all about controlling how images transform in a whole new way.
Okay, I'm listening. What kind of transformations are we talking about here?
Imagine you have a picture of a cat on a rug. You love the cat, but you want to change the pattern of the rug. Usually, if you try to do this with an AI image editor, the shape of the cat might get distorted, its position might change. But FLUX.1 Depth Canny, it lets you tell the AI to keep the structure of the image the same, like keep the cat in the exact same position, but only change the texture or the pattern.
So it's like you're saying, hey, AI, you can change the colors, you can play with the textures, but don't mess with the basic layout. That is super smart. I can already see how useful that would be for so many creative things.
It really is. And of course, Black Forest Labs had to test this new tool out. They wanted to see how it measured up against the best of the best. So they compared FLUX.1 Depth Canny to other AI image editors, and the results are really something.
I bet they were. I'm starting to see a pattern here. Black Forest Labs is really pushing the boundaries of what's possible with AI image editing.
You're definitely right, and one of the most impressive things is that FLUX.1 depth actually performs better than some of those industry-leading proprietary models, especially when it comes to something called retexturing. Imagine taking a picture of a brick wall and then instantly changing it into a marble wall, but without changing the shape of the bricks.
Wow. That opens up so many possibilities for designers, architects, anyone working with visuals, really. So FLUX.1 Depth Canny also comes in a Pro version and an open access version.
That's right, both versions are incredibly capable. The Pro version is perfect for people who need a lot of variety in the outputs and flexibility in how they work, while the Open Access Dev version is more consistent when it comes to those depth-aware tasks like changing textures without changing the shape.
So there's a FLUX.1 Depth Canny tool for everyone depending on their skill level and what they need to do. And I'm guessing these are also available on Hugging Face and GitHub.
You got it. Black Forest Labs really wants to make this technology available to everyone. The open access versions are available for both the full model and what's called a LoRaV version, which is like a smaller, more specialized version for specific tasks.
That's fantastic.
Sure.
So if I wanted to just focus on changing textures on objects without changing their shapes, I could just grab the LoRaV version and get started.
Exactly. It gives developers and researchers so much freedom to use the tool in a way that fits their specific needs.
Okay, so we've covered FLUX.1 Fill for inpainting and outpainting, and FLUX.1 Depth Canny for controlling how images change. What's next in this amazing set of AI image tools?
Let's talk about FLUX.1 Redux. It's all about generating variations of an image and then refining them to be just perfect. It's like having an AI brainstorming partner for your visuals.
I love that analogy. So instead of just changing one image, FLUX.1 Redux helps you explore different possibilities based on that original image.
Exactly. It's perfect if you have a great image, but you want to see what other things you could do with it. And it gets even more powerful when you combine FLUX.1 Redux with text prompts for image restyling.
So let's say I have a photo of a flower. Could I tell the AI, show me this flower, but make it look like it's made of glass? Would it actually generate different options based on that?
That's the idea. And this feature is built into their most advanced model, FLUX1.1 Pro Ultra, which lets you combine images and text prompts to create really high-quality results. Imagine being able to take a simple sketch and then use text prompts to turn it into a photorealistic masterpiece.
That's incredible. It's like having an AI art director that can bring your imagination to life.
And of course, Black Forest Labs had to test FLUX.1 Redux, comparing it to other leading AI image variation tools. It's no surprise that it comes out on top, especially when it comes to generating really high quality and diverse variations.
So if someone wants to try FLUX.1 Redux, where can they find it? Is it the same as the other tools, with both open access and professional versions?
You know it. The open access dev version is available on Hugging Face for the weights and GitHub for the code. And for those who need the full power of the professional version, including FLUX1.1 Pro Ultra, you can access that through the Black Forest Labs API.
Okay, we've covered FLUX Part 1, Fill for inpainting and outpainting, FLUX.1 Depth Canny for controlling image transformations, and FLUX.1 Redux for generating image variations. I'm already feeling overwhelmed by all the possibilities. What's the last tool in this AI image manipulation toolbox?
Okay, get ready for this one. It's called FLUX.1 Stylize. And it's all about applying different artistic styles to your images. Remember how we were talking about using text prompts to guide the AI? Well, FLUX.1 Stylize takes that to a whole other level.
Okay, now that sounds interesting. So instead of just generating variations, I could tell the AI to make my photo look like it was done in a specific style of art.
Exactly. Like imagine wanting to give your photo the brushstrokes of a Van Gogh or the abstract look of a Picasso. FLUX.1 Stylize can do that.
That's wild. It's like having the world's best art forger right at your fingertips. Except totally ethical, of course. I can see artists, designers, really anyone on social media going crazy for this.
And what's really cool is that FLUX.1 Stylize doesn't just like slap on a filter. It actually tries to understand what makes that artistic style unique and then reinterprets your image through that lens. So you keep the details of your original photo, but it's like seeing it through the eyes of a famous painter.
Okay, I have to ask, but did they do their whole benchmarking thing with this one too? I'm really curious how it compares to other AI style transfer tools out there.
You guessed it. FLUX.1 Stylize blew the competition away. They compared it to some of the top models, and the Pro version was the best, both for how accurately it captured the style and the overall quality of the image.
I'm not surprised at all. Black Forest Labs is on a roll with this. It really seems like they're pushing the limits with every single tool in this suite.
And you know what? Their commitment to open access research means that even the dev version of FLUX.1 Stylize is completely free to use. So if you're a developer or an AI enthusiast, you can get your hands on this technology and start playing around with artistic style transfer. You can go as crazy as you want.
That is fantastic. So just to make sure everyone remembers, where can they find all the resources for FLUX.1 Stylize?
Same place as the others. Hugging Face has the weights and code for the dev version, and if you want the full power of the pro version, you can get that through the Black Forest Labs API.
Okay, wow. We've covered all 4 of the tools: Fill, Canny, Redux, and Stylize. Each one is incredible on its own, but when you put them all together, they form this insanely powerful toolkit. It could completely revolutionize the way we think about creating and changing images.
It's a total game changer. FLUX.1 Tools is giving us control, creativity, and flexibility we could only dream of before. It's going to be really interesting to see what people create with these tools in the future.
I can already picture all the amazing artwork, designs, and photo edits people are going to make. It feels like we're at the start of a whole new era of visual expression.
And because Black Forest Labs is making so much of this technology open source, it means that it's not just limited to a small group of people, developers, artists, researchers from all over the world. They can all help it grow and explore its potential.
It's amazing to think that just a few years ago, this level of AI image manipulation seemed impossible, like something out of a movie. Now it's not just real, but it's available to anyone with a computer and the internet.
That just shows how fast AI is developing, and this is only the beginning. Who knows what crazy new tools and capabilities we'll have access to in the near future? I can't even imagine.
That's what makes it so exciting. We're only just scratching the surface, and it feels like the possibilities are truly endless.
I agree. But while we're looking ahead to the future, let's not forget that these tools are available now, today. Anyone can jump in and start using them.
That's a great point. We've been so focused on the big picture that we almost forgot to remind our listeners that they can actually try out these tools themselves.
Exactly. So if you're feeling inspired, we'll make sure to include all the links in the show notes. So you can download the open access versions, check out the Black Forest Labs API, and get started. You might discover a whole new way to express your creativity or even find a solution to a problem you've been stuck on.
That's so true. Sometimes the biggest breakthroughs are just a click away. Now, we've been talking a lot about all the positive things about FLUX.1 tools, but I think it's important to also consider the bigger picture. These advancements aren't just about making cool images. They have the potential to change a lot of different fields and industries.
You're absolutely right. We've been caught up in all the technical stuff and the creative potential, but we haven't really talked about the bigger picture. So let's zoom out for a minute and think about the impact these tools could have. Where do you think we should start?
Well, one thing that comes to mind is the world of design. Imagine architects using FLUX.1 depth to quickly visualize different building designs, or fashion designers using FLUX.1 Stylize to play with different patterns and textures on clothing.
That's a perfect example. It would give designers this incredible power to be more creative and get things done faster. And this isn't limited to those classic design fields either, right?
No way. Think about game developers. They could create insanely detailed and immersive worlds with FLUX.1 Fill, or filmmakers using FLUX.1 Redux to make different versions of a scene or even create special effects.
The possibilities are endless, and we haven't even mentioned the potential for education and research. Teachers could create interactive learning materials with FLUX.1 Fill, and researchers could use FLUX.1 depth to visualize data in new and exciting ways.
That makes a lot of sense. These tools can make learning more fun and easier for students. And they can help researchers share their findings in a way that's more visual and easier to understand.
Exactly. It's all about breaking down those barriers and opening up new ways to explore and understand. And speaking of breaking down barriers, what about the potential for accessibility?
That's such an important point. How could FLUX.1 tools make things more accessible for people with disabilities?
Imagine someone with limited mobility being able to use FLUX.1 Fill to create art or edit images without needing a mouse and keyboard. Or someone who has trouble seeing using FLUX.1 Stylize to create images with special color palettes or contrast that makes them easier to see.
That's amazing. These tools could really give people with disabilities the power to express themselves and interact with technology in ways they couldn't before. It's inspiring to see how something like AI image manipulation, which might seem niche at first, can have such a big impact on so many different fields and communities.
It really shows how transformative AI can be. And as this technology keeps getting better, I have no doubt we'll see even more amazing and impactful applications in the future.
It's an incredible time to be alive, watching this technological revolution unfold right in front of us. I can't wait to see